Good afternoon, everybody. This is Sneha Verma from Industry Trade Promotion Council of India, and today we will have a quick chat with Mr. Neeraj Mahendratta, who is currently helming one of the major rice miller business in India. DRRK Group is one of the famous and leading rice manufacturers and exporters of India. Their planned expansion to overseas market is indeed remarkable. They currently are focusing on countries like USA, Canada, UK, Europe, Australasia, Africa, Far East, Russia, and of course, the Middle East. We welcome you, Mr. Neeraj. Good to have you here at Indus Food.
Thank you so much for allowing the opportunity. Of course, and it's
Good, good, good to hear that. Mr. Neeraj, we would be talking about a lot of things today. Of course, the scenarios have little bit changed, and we'll be talking to that also. But first, coming to the pandemic thing. So, how do you see the impact of COVID crisis on the entire F&B industry at large? Do you see any kind of positive impact if we talk of essentials?
see evaluating positives and negatives in such an emergency situation is not. First of all, we should not think about it. But yes, of course, it's on the whole. If you talk about industry, if you talk about numbers, and if you talk about the impact on the same, yes, of course, it has been overall positive. We cannot think of a very clear blue sky every time. Of course, there are a few negatives also, but mostly there were positives were there, and industry got a good oxygen in this time.
Okay, that's really good to know from you. In fact, if we come now to your business, what has been the positive and the negative impacts of this crisis specifically on your business? Was there any kind of innovation these days, or maybe anything?
The sales had been improved on all these times, and yes, it was there. But there were also some negatives also apart from that. Like we had to face few challenges, which is first of all. The complete supply chain was disrupted. We cannot forget that, of course, because ultimately at the end of the day, the people are there to move it, right? So even if the people who are there in your factory, the people who are managing the transportation, even the people who are managing the operations at the seaport or the inland port or anywhere, like the supply chain got disrupted. But yes, thanks to Indian government, we got amazing cooperation from them, and also like you were showcasing our problems to the industry time to time, and of course we are indebted to you guys as well. Mostly it was positive. We got good. Industry was suffering from right from the start of the crop season. It was around November, December. We was suffering because of our main markets, Iran, Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia was doing good, but Iran was having tough time because of their current political tension between the Western world, and so that's why they were not able to buy. And Iran is the biggest market for the rice as far
Right.
as is concerned. So they were
Mm-hmm.
not able to buy because they were having some currency problem, and still now there is some currency problem. So we have to just pray to the God that everyone stay safe and healthy. But if you ask about the industry and the numbers, yes,
Okay.
that's how it is. Yeah.
All
Sorry.
right. So, DRRK has been famous for its flagship brand, which is Crown Rice, and also a lot of yeah. So a lot of other health variants have also been the king of your shelves. So, can you give us a little brief of that?
See, the thing is, yeah, of course, apart from the conventional products, like the conventional products we have, like in the various basmati and the non-basmati range, we introduced some time back our health variant, which is the diet rice. This is the
Hmm.
one diet rice.
Right.
And which is like, especially for those people who are health conscious, first of all, also the people who are diabetic. It is having a low GI content, and it's also not heavy on the stomach.
Hmm.
So, the best thing about this is the first thing, and also the most important thing I would like to showcase and through your medium, that not only in these kind of products, the niche products, we also in our conventional products, we have a practice of educating the farmers, which you see, our factories are located out of Amritsar, Punjab. Two factories are there and one factory is in Gujarat. So we educate the farmers in the villages over there, and we own few land over there, and we have our own some kind of, say, you can contract farming, and also a lot of farmers also work for us. So they have been getting educated from us from not from now, from the past 6-7 years, that use less pesticides and make a sustainable living for everyone, make a sustainable product for everyone. And we have been buying all the products from them exclusively through all the years. So they are now more inclined towards this thing about this, okay, healthy product we are giving, and we are serving to the society as well in that case.
Right. Great to know that. In fact, it was really blissful to know that you and the RRK are indulged in some CSR activities also. That's wonderful. In fact, coming to my next question, I mean, what has been the performance of the value-added products in your view in terms of demand and supply?
And we just got conferred by the Economic Times and Times Group about the award of this most emerging brand from them.
That's
And
wonderful. I first of all congratulate you for this. Yes.
Thank you so much. And also, for as far as this CSR is concerned, I also mentioned about this uniform practices, and also we are giving a lot back to, we are feeding few NGOs people, which will be honored by the Honorable Chief Minister of Punjab very soon for our giving back to the society CSR activities. Also, apart from this farmers education and everything, so we are taking care of the whatever is course is there. And so we are doing, of course, good, and these value-added products also, and the normal conventional products also. Yes, we are satisfied about this.
Okay.
I would just like to add one point. It was a very significant achievement which we have got about this in this past 4-5 months. About we got to close a very good deal with one of the big names in Middle East for our products, for also for the value added and also for the conventional ones. And also, not to forget, our brand is one of the top 3 brands of UAE as well, and also few other markets. So that's I just wanted to mention. Sorry.
No, that's so awesome to know the fact that your brand has achieved so much in such kind of trying times also. So I really congratulate you for this. In fact, coming to the challenges also, I'm very sure that this journey, this tremendously successful journey of yours might not be bereft of any challenges. So I would really like to know, and my audience would also like to know, what have been the challenges so far, specifically in this lockdown and COVID period?
Of course, there is no struggle without any challenge, and there is no journey without any challenge. And of course, there are negatives and also obstacles. See, the first challenge, which was, I just mentioned you in the first question itself, that the manpower scarcity, it was there because the whole world was going under a depression of COVID. Everyone was scared even to go out of the family, and no one wants to go. And there was a huge shortage of the people everywhere.
Right. So, you rightly mentioned, coming to your, the migrant laborer communities problem. So, you rightly mentioned that this was a major problem, which I think most of the manufacturers here in India had, faced such kind of problems. So, what do you see a possible solution to it? Can automation be a replacement?
See, everyone wants, of course, that's a very difficult question you have asked. Everyone wants automation but you have to maintain a balance about what's exactly possible and what you desire. In our industry, of course, it's a completely agricultural industry and one of the main backbone of the Indian economy, and being run by farmers and the people. If I would have to put forward some thought that okay, automation would be just, so it should be right from the start. But as far as our case goes, I was thinking that okay, if automation comes into even the procurement of the paddy from the farmers, right from there till even the trucks are coming into in and getting loaded, unloaded, there should not be any human intervention. They should be simply loaded automatically on the conveyors. It will go inside the factory from one point you put and the last point you get it. That I'm okay as of now, because we are buying from our own farms, our own farmers. That is fine. And I mean, even almost 90% of our factory and operations are automated.
Yes. Yeah. Maybe one message of yours to the Indian food and beverage processing machinery manufacturers. What would be that one message to them?
first of all, we are brilliant minded people, Indians. We should be proud of ourselves that, whatever we were importing in this industry, like not even in rice, we are even in grains, even in pulses, even in beans, in any industry. So the thing is, this is still getting imported from Japan, and now China is giving the substitute. But if we could develop something like this in India, it's not even in rice, it's in pulses, it's in beans, it's everywhere. So we could be, of course, moving more ahead. And of course, if a machine is about $30,000-$40,000 importing machine, and if we will manufacture it over here, of course the cost will be less. Then my production capacity will be increased by 4 folds, because 40,000 I am having one machine, rather than if it is an Indian make, I will be having 4 machines.
Yep, I understood completely. Maybe my last question to you: how was your experience in IndusFood 2020, and how do you see it as a growth platform?
Okay. So, to be very honest, IndusFood is, as I mentioned, which you mentioned before I mentioned that, and even in the introduction, just putting into the short words, IndusFood is a complete return on investment, ROI, full ROI. You will get it from here. And the best thing is the team, like you, like Mr. Deepak, Ms. Nobor, and Mr. Singla, everyone are so vibrant and so dynamic. And you call even at the late night, okay, about something, you will get some assistance in the case, because more than me, you guys know what I want. So, of course, when you know the problem more than me, of course, you present the right solutions to me. So, all in all, we got what we wanted, and we as I mentioned you, and we have doubled the space. Maybe we will increase the space more. Let's see. But yes, of course, we are satisfied with IndusFood, and that was completely our pleasure, and one of the main exhibitions we have put forward in our list.
How satisfactory did you find the international participation at the show?
That was very good, actually very good. So that solves the thing. I think we are more or less satisfied, and looking forward personally also to increase the space more. Maybe, let's see.
That's wonderful to hear. Thank you so much, Mr. Neeraj, for the informative insights that you gave today. You all were talking to and listening to Mr. Neeraj from the RRK Group, and this is Neha from IndusFood Trade Promotion Council of India. For more such insights, industry insights, stay tuned to IndusFood. Take care.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Stay safe. Stay safe. Bye bye.